Good afternoon, it's Bianca and welcome to my book haul. I have never done a book haul before. I've done like more of a journaling, how-to, planning kind of stuff, but I've never actually did a full-on book haul, like a reading book haul, and I'm really super excited about it. This year I've been really trying to get back into reading instead of just writing. I am a writer at heart. I feel like my soul just belongs to writing, and for a very long time I neglected reading because I thought, silly, but I thought that if I read, I would subconsciously start taking other people's thoughts and theories and like twist them to be my words. And I always wanted my words to come from a very me place, and I've found that that's just a silly way to think because the world doesn't like influence you like that. Like it does, but it doesn't. So I will be linking everything down in the description for you to browse, but I do highly recommend going out and just kind of like finding cool old thrifted books too. So I also do want to mention that majority of the books that I got are poetry books. That's just what I'm into. If you have any good book recommendations, please comment them down below. Let's use my comment section as a space to like recommend books, like a cute little virtual book club. I feel like that'll be so much fun and so lovely. So please, please, please do so. Give me your favorite book, anything. My favorite book is actually flipped. It's like a middle school read, but it's my favorite book. It is by Wendelin Van Dronen, and it is the cutest little book in the entire world, and I fell in love with it in like 8th grade. So I actually told myself last week that I'm going to reread this. So that is my favorite book. Please let me know yours in the comments, and let's continue on with all of my new books. So I did end up getting this at Barnes & Noble. This was not an Amazon order, but here we are. This is a poetry book. It is called She's Strong But She's Tired. It is by R.H. Sin. I am up to page 129. It's okay. It's really cute. I love the aesthetic of it. I thought the hand was really beautiful. It reminded me of very dainty tattoos. I really picked it up because it was a chunky, good poetry book, and I felt like the poetry section in Barnes & Noble's was lacking, and I just don't feel like I belong reading Rupi Kapoor. I just don't think she's all that great. I opened up a page, read a few poems. I was like, okay, this sounds pretty good. And that's pretty much how I picked my book. I am a very horrible person because I do judge books by their covers, and it is mainly because I'm obsessed with design, and I love all things like whimsical, and if something sparks something in me, I want to feel it right away, and that usually happens with aesthetics. So unfortunately, I just am that kind of person. So I picked up the book because it's derived of like my two favorite colors. It's like that mustardy and the burnt orange. Like I'm literally wearing a burnt orange jumpsuit right now. So actually with all of the books, I want to open up a page and read either a poem or an excerpt or something. So I'm gonna pick my favorite number, which is 16. So we're going to go to 16, and I'm going to read you an excerpt just in case maybe you like this. In the end, you realize you never needed him, he never deserved you, and so his absence is not a loss. You gain so much more when you remove people who don't belong in your life. Very cute, very sweet. The only complaint I have with this book is the author uses queen a lot to describe women. You're a queen, rise up queen. And as I think that's amazing, I also think it's very easy. I think she could have tried harder to expand the vocabulary and try to like really like, I think women are so much more than queens. I think we're these extraterrestrial beings that like could move space and time if we just think enough and believe enough and feel passionate enough about something. So I feel like queen is just an easy word to throw in there to make your poem sound more internet culture related. And I don't think you should write to have a viral Tumblr moment. I think you should write because you need to. So that's just my theory and my opinion, so like take it as you will, but I just find that this author uses queen a lot and it just like bothers me. I don't know why. I think it's a little corny. Next book that I got is called Love and Misadventure by Lang Liev, and it's so beautiful. It's so lovely. This actually comes in a series of a few books. So this is the first one, I believe, Love and Misadventure. It's also a poetry book, but there are other part 2, part 3, part 4, and as I don't believe that they are typically part 1, part 2, part 3. It is a series, and all of the books kind of look like this, with different people in this little frame with different colored books. Like there's a pink one. And a long while ago, I went to Barnes & Noble with a friend. When I was going through like a weird time, we kind of would just like get out every once in a while and go to Barnes & Noble and just like lurk the poetry section. And I picked up this book by this author, but it was in a pink cover and it was called something else.
Hi everyone, I interrupted the video, but I brought Bianca disco cards.
Thank you.
I burnt my finger also. Goodbye.
Oh my god, and now there's cars, Rambo's barking. I have my disco fries.
Rambo!
I'm just trying to film.
Lover, stop.
I hate when cars make loud ass noises because it's just obnoxious. So anyway, I ended up taking a picture of the other version of this book, and I told myself, okay, once I read one poetry book, I'm gonna like go ahead and read this one. So I ended up starting from square one. This is supposedly the first one of the series, so I'm excited to read this. I have not even opened it yet, but let's do the honors. It's only odd numbers. Ooh, that's quirky. So it's only odd numbers, which actually that's just gonna be like a minor complaint of mine, is that, can this car stop?
What is wrong with people?
Minor quirk. It's like cool to me when all the pages are just on the right side, but it like bothers me because I feel like it's just like a big waste of paper. Oh wait, I just passed something that was on the left. That's cool kind of, but I don't know, I just feel like it's a waste of pages, but like that's just me like making minor comments. Okay, without a doubt, I must read all the books I've read about, see the artworks hung on hooks that I have only seen in books. So cute. Okay, I'm very excited to read this one. This one just gives me good vibes. It gives me like Victorian little baby doll vibes, and I'm really excited to read this one. So I finally got my hands on the spell book. I have had this sitting in basically my Amazon wish list for quite some time. Anytime people ask me like, oh, what should I read? What can I do to learn more about witchery, to learn more about protection and writing and spell work, and I always recommend this book because I know that it's like such a highly recommended book. Although I have never read it before and I am very looking forward to reading it, I always recommend this one, and it has been sitting in my Amazon wishlist for quite some time. Cover's matted. It feels differently than the last two books that I just had in my hands. Actually, this one kind of feels somewhat similar. It has that like matted, almost like texturized cover, whereas the first one is just like a texture. It's just like matted and it's really super lovely. So actually this book is called The Spellbook for New Witches, and it is Essential Spells to Change Your Life by Ambrosia Hawthorne. And I think that is really lovely, and I think it's super cool. Judge a book by its cover here because it's fucking gorgeous. It is so lovely. The hands, it reminds me of like little trinkets or little cutesy tattoos. You got the moon, the stars, fire, cauldrons, the pagan symbol, butterflies, crystals, the evil eye. Like you just have a bunch of things to work with here, and I find that the entire back actually holds a really good part in the book because it is change your life with enchantingly easy spells, practical magic, sage advice, spellbound, and about the author, Ambrosia Hawthorne. She is a tarot reader, astrologer, and traveling eclectic witch with roots in Yupik shamanism and Puerto Rican folk magic. She is the owner of Wild Goddess Magic, a witchcraft blog, and the editor of Witchology magazine. So that's super cute. It's huge. There's just so much information inside of it, and like the pages are so thought out and so beautiful. It's almost like a cookbook, but for spells. And I find that lovely in itself, so I am beyond thrilled to read this, but I also am excited to kind of use it as somewhat of a manuscript, and maybe I can make some videos about doing some of the spells from here. I feel like this could be just a guide to a huge segment of my channel that I know you guys enjoy and that I know that I will be so thrilled to do, is just opening up one day to a page and being like, ah, fulfillment scrying. What does that mean? Hold on, let me go to another page. Wealth manifestation rice. Okay. Oh, and it tells you the times of day to do it. That's pretty cool. I'm somebody who, again, witchcraft to me is beyond rules. It's not, I don't look at witchcraft as having to follow a certain set of rules, and of course there are certain rules you must follow and there are certain things that you like do, but for me I just find it to be more of like a powerful thing within myself rather than sitting around counting what time I have to sit there and do X, Y, and Z. I'm like a control freak. I don't want you to tell me what freaking time of day, and only Sunday I could do this. So that's just a me thing. Look how awesome that is. The spells. And then this one, Romantic Love. And it just tells you everything about everything, and they are all poetry books, so they fall under the same category of what majority of these books I'm doing in this haul, but there are 3 of them. So they're very teensy tiny. I actually have never seen them before. I really just ordered them considering I really liked the covers. I thought that I could relate to the covers, and they're very small. I thought that they'd be bigger. Concept book approach, so I think that's super cool. I am unsure which book is supposed to come first. Let's start with number 1, which I have already read, Mad Woman by Kat Savage. So I read this in about 40 minutes. It's, again, it's very, very short. For instance, the text itself for the body is really, really easy, but the text for all the titles is this super messy calligraphy, and as much as I really adore that and appreciate it, I was having a lot of trouble making out some of the words. So I ended up kind of just skipping around titles, and I love titles. I think they're super important. At least for me, when I write, I think that my titles are so much better than the actual concept of the poem. I don't know why. I feel like the title tells all. It's kind of like the secret hidden egg in the poem. That's okay. She's an indie writer. That's fine. There's actually no numbers on the pages, so instead of turning to page 16, I'm just gonna flip to a random. Fighting Dirty. He knew exactly what to say, what promises to make, to cause my ears to perk up and actually consider his offer. I wanted to stab him for knowing what I wanted and using it against me. Using a woman's hopes and dreams against her is like bringing a gun to a knife fight. You're going to make a bigger mess and piss everyone off. Letters from a Dead Girl by Kat Savage. I thought this was so lovely. I think that this is so beautiful. The purple, magnificent. It's super witchy. It has like these cute little it's very, very cute. I love the design of it, and I love the artwork. I think all the women on the fronts of the pages just speak for the poems themselves, and I'm pretty sure that they're supposed to represent whoever is writing in these books at that time. What a time to be alive. What a time to feel dead inside. Some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them are like actual poems, and some of them are just these big texts, I guess, to get the point across. That's actually really cool. I like the way that this is written a lot. Dear Jay, crossed out. Dear Buffalo, New York, crossed out. Dear Lost Boy, comma. Remember that time I drove 9 hours just to meet you? Now we don't even speak. What do you think that means? We slept in the same bed but never touched. I really hate that. I don't know it was possible to crave something you never had. What do you think our skin would have felt like on impact? Sharp flutter? Melted center? I saw you got married. That's really good. Sucker punch, broken glass, she has your last name. I have your initials in a poem in a frame. Just makes you think, you know, I really hate poets. Dash, always Tiger Lily. Now this is so, so pretty. It's like this gray blue. Oh my god, I love it. This girl, wanna be her. Can I? Can I please? She looks so awesome, so badass, so like siren. Again, all of Kat Savage's books do not have numbers on the pages, which that's fine. Let's just open up a page then, and I will read a poem to you. This one's called Begging. I'm just sitting here waiting for you to read my mind. I have left it unguarded, here's the key. Read between the lines of our texts, where I know I left breadcrumbs, tiny hints for you to follow all the way back to me. Understand, the things I want you to do without having to tell you, without having to beg, I covet your attention. Please give me your attention. I need you to understand me, even when I don't, when I can't. I hope this makes you uncomfortable. And also, I did order another book that did not come yet, unfortunately, and it is a Charles Bukowski book. I actually really enjoy reading Bukowski. Like, I have Love is a Dog from Hell, and I've read a few others from him. I don't know, he's so sad inside. I just relate so much, and it's like, he's a little like weird and pervy, but like once you look past that, you're just like, oh shit, like this guy's broken. So I did go ahead and order You Get So Alone at Times that it just makes sense. And I feel like I'll probably enjoy that a lot. I'm excited to read that book as well. There is no particular order of how excited I am to read any of these books that I got in this book haul. Again, please let me know your favorite book in the comment. Let me know some book recommendations, even if it's not your favorite book, even if it's like a book that makes you laugh or smile. And I will be linking them all down in the description for you guys to browse. And like, honestly, I find clicking around under certain book tabs just lead me to like cooler authors and maybe more indie self-published people. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and follow me over on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!